What's going on, guys? So today was a big day, and in a lot of my in my trade recap videos the past few days on Twitter, and even in Discord, in my chat, I keep saying that I was kind of weirded out by the price. Why? Because I saw we had this untapped buy side here, okay, and what does that mean? It basically means we got a point away from it and then we never hit it. So usually that never happens, and once we got down here, I was like, maybe it's the first time this is gonna happen, but nope. J-Power got us up here. Not surprised, to be honest. Um, like, so obviously I know now in hindsight why they did that, and I also know why they left over this gap. So the other day I had a hard time shorting, okay, and I saw the 4-hour fair value gap right here, and I thought we were gonna bounce from it because I really wanted to hit this. We ended up bouncing a little bit, never even got close to the gap for some reason. So we bounced a little, and once we broke this, that's when I looked to short this because I saw that it started to look like the Excel model, which basically means it had like that curve that I talked about in my sell model video. And I didn't know it was a sell model until we kind of just knifed through this fair value gap. But that's why and I didn't take a loss because I used a lower time frame confirmation. I'm not just going to randomly slap a fair value gap in here. I have to wait till the lower time frame to get confirmation. So I never got confirmation, but we did get confirmation to go short after. So I shorted that and I covered here. And after that, what happens? Well, that's when you wait. So you wait for a new setup. And obviously the setup could be short to down here. You never know. Was this a trend line? No, this wasn't really a trend line defense. But after that, you kind of wait for a new setup, new structure to form, and the structure we ended up getting was kind of bullish. So let me explain. We hit sell side, and today was decent. I actually never alerted anything because of JPOW. So I was playing it safe today, but we did get this nice short to open. I did scalp this, but I didn't alert it because, again, I will try to do my best to save you guys from losing. So you can see in this, okay, we ended up wicking into it, but then the unfilled part got winked into after. Then we ended up hitting internal sell side right here, as you guys can see. So that was a nice short off open. And then from there on, we didn't really get any other setups. I mean, this was kind of a setup right here. If you shorted this order block or this fair value gap, your stop would have been over the swing high. Your target would have been down here. Other than that, not really. We got the shorts set up. We wicked right into premium into this fair value gap. Boom, we hit low day again. Would have covered. But other than that, we didn't get really any decent short setups, okay? So after that, I wasn't really looking at anything until JPOW speaks. And you do not want to play this. You never know if this is going to dump or pump. And that's when you want to wait till after the speech, okay? So after the speech, we got this clear direction up, okay? So we get it direction up, we get a pullback. Keep in mind, this is not really a great long entry. Actually, we just wicked in the discount. I didn't even realize that. So we wicked into it so the 0.5 was 3966.5, and we bottomed at let me move this real quick. We bottomed at 3966, so 0.50 into discount area, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. So you wicked into that, and then that's when you kind of look for more long entries. Why? Well, when we got that direction up, that's when you kind of know that in the back of your head, you remember we had this gap up here, you remember we had the SPY set up there. So that's when you look for long entries, okay? So when you're way up here, there's no reason to short that because usually the direction is the direction we go in. So it's going to be it's like a trend day. This could have been a whole trend day, except this happened in the matter of 2 hours. So that's when you look for long entries. And I really like the 1 minute, and we did get a few good ones. So we broke this energetically right here. So you can see how we broke this with good displacement. We know that we hadn't hit 4,050 yet, which was in the gap. Even the gap was up here too. So we know we had a gap above. And we have a fair value gap here. Okay. And then we have an order block here. And yeah, so if you enter this, okay, so here's your long position. Maybe you want to enter in the fair value gap right here. Your stop would be under this swing low down here, and then your take profit maybe is the gap or it's 4,050. I am more confident with the 4,050. There's no reason we're just gonna reject a random gap. That's not how the market works. So that was a 3.5 the risk reward. And if you're telling me like, oh, who's gonna take this? This is a 3985. This is a 20-point stop. Well, there are people who do. I know a few people from King Capital. If you guys know Dwayne Trade, I know he takes like 10-point stops, whatever. But if this isn't your trading style, remember, this is not for everyone. I know some people who do take these trades with 15-point stops, but they also have the same position size, even if they have 5-point stops. For me, I would not have taken this, okay? The entry that I saw in this was this 1 minute fair value gap, okay? So this is the safest entry I saw. Why? Well, it was the closest to this swing low. So it made it so that there's only a, let's say the entry is here. It made it so there's only an 6-point stop here, okay? And again, you can see how precise this is. You can also see we got a short entry down to our entry, so you can see we make a higher low, or higher low, then we break the higher low, and I'm sure there was a 15-second structure shift that would have said the shortest, but you can also see there's an order block right here in the 1 minute. We never close below the order block. Sometimes you do close below order blocks, sometimes you don't. It's just, this is how it is in hindsight. But again, so this was the main entry with this stop loss. That's like your ICT entry. But if you're really picky, maybe you entered here, maybe you got up. We actually went up 7 points from this entry. This is definitely an entry I would have taken right here. Why right there? Well, there's actually, so see how we get a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. There's no swing lows up here, so there's not really a fib I can draw to see if there's a discount or not. So on the 15-second, I'm sure there's a mid or a low right here somewhere. So let's pretend it's right here. I probably would have entered the 0.75. 0.75. I love entering the 0.75 in these giant candles. And I probably would have gotten stopped the break even right here, okay? But that's okay. But if you truly want to be a good ICT trader, your stop should definitely be a structure stop. And in this situation, if we draw a swing high from here to here, you can see this fair value gap was not in discount, okay? This is the only fair value gap in discount in this situation. So you can see how that works. And then we never close under the order block, which is good. And let's say you miss this entry, okay? Let's say you want a confirmation entry. Well, that's when you could take like this trend line, okay? So the fact that they kept creating all these wicks, these equal wicks, this candle, see how we get this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle. See how small these are relatively to this candle? You don't even have to see volume to know this has a lot of volume. You can see how direct and clear this is over these highs and over these trend lines. So you could have chased the entry there if you missed it, okay? And it did give us a few more entries. So it gave us this fair value gap entry here with this order block supporting it. This would have been a decent entry. This would have been a decent entry. Why this? Well, there's an order block right under. Not a great one. We have no fair value gap over here. But we never got those entries. This is the only one we got. And then, boom, what happens? Look. Market structure shift here. Very, very energetic one. And you can clearly see how energetic this is. With a fair value gap sitting right in discount. This is like a full port play. And why is this a full port play? Well, you know that we have not hit the 4,050 level yet, way up here. So you still are bullish until we hit that, but we did fill a gap. I think this would have been a better play if we didn't hit high day. Like, let's say we stopped here, then went down. I think this would have been a better play, but I know some people, because we hit a high day, they're probably cautious in taking this, but that's okay. And then we did bounce off this, okay? And in hindsight, this is easy to see, but this was your only 1 minute fair value gap down here. There's no 1 minute fair value gap here, here, here. This is the only one. And it was in discount too, so you can see it's right under the 0.5. We bounce off that. So let's say you missed this entry, this would have been your second entry. other than that, there wasn't other entries. I would have sold here, and obviously you can see what happened. We pumped pretty high after we hit liquidity, which is very surprising. And now if you look at the daily, we are inside a fair value gap, okay? And this is also technically an order block here at 4,092. So we'll see what happens here. I thought we were gonna reject this fair value gap, this daily fair value gap, and go down to yearly lows. But now what I might see is we actually might go up here. Again, I'm not predicting this. I'm gonna use intraday structure to take my plays. But something I could definitely see happening is like we go up to here and we create this broadening formation, and then we go down again. So I'll obviously see with intraday structure, but this is definitely an interesting setup here. Again, this is going to depend on the Fed. Like Powell, he could have dumped today if he said that they weren't slowing down rate hikes. They could have dumped today easily. So if the Fed only does 0.50 BPS rate hikes, then obviously we're probably not going to go back to yearly lows. But I'm guessing with inflation they're going to have to. That's just me though. On US 500, if we do look at the monthly chart or the weekly chart even, if we draw the fib from here to here, we just barely tapped in the discount. Or no, we literally bounced off right at the 0.5, okay? And we bounced off this fair value gap. So we could honestly go hit yearly highs from now, right now. But again, it's going to depend on the Fed. This could be a broadening formation. There's so much that could happen, and I'm not trying to predict it because we react to price. We don't predict the price, okay? So if we get a giant dump tomorrow with a bunch of short setups, then yeah, obviously I'm going to short. But we also have this daily trend line here. So this is definitely a low risk short right here. Maybe low risk short down to like, I don't even know, 3,400, 3,200. Even 2,900. There isn't fair value gap at 2,600 in the weekly. It's kind of a BPR. So there's a lot of possibilities. I'm not going to predict this. We react to price. We don't predict. But this is definitely low risk short here. But again, you got to be careful because you can't just take plays based off of this weekly and daily chart because we could break through. If we break through this, one thing I will say is if we break through this, I do expect 4,160 to hit, and then after that maybe pull back, and then I would see if there's any supporting structure up to 4,333. That's what I will say. I can almost guarantee with confidence if we break this trend line, we will hit this, but that's only if we break this trend line. So that's the only thing I see right now. I'm going to keep playing intraday setups, obviously, but yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't do any alerts, so I couldn't really do a recap of my alerts today. But yeah, I ended the month with, I think, let me just fact check this real quick. I ended the month with 21 wins, 2 losses, and 5 break-even trades. So not a bad month. I really wanted 0 losses, but sometimes you have to take losses. It's okay. And honestly, I should probably expect more losses because sometimes me not wanting to take losses makes me paper hand stuff. So it's definitely depends on your style of trading, but that's definitely something I have to work on. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a great evening or morning, wherever it is for you, and enjoy the rest of the week in trading. And I will try to upload another video tomorrow. Other than that, peace out.